in today's video, we are going to be doing a review of one of Movo's USB microphones. So with me today, I have their UM700 USB microphone model. I would consider this to be one of their flagship USB microphones, only because it does come with quite a few features, which we will be discussing throughout this video. Now, Movo did send me this USB microphone. However, this is not a paid advertised spot, so I am free to reveal what my true opinions are about this product. Now, some of the points that we will be discussing in this video today are things such as the build quality. Is this a durable, solid microphone? Does this have the potential to last you for an extended period of time? Even more importantly, how does this USB microphone sound? Now, rather than me showing you or telling you how the microphone performs, I would rather demonstrate this and showcase this so that you can see firsthand and that you can form your own opinion. So I'm going to do a recording on Audacity, which is a recording software. I'm going to take that sound clip from that recording, insert it into the video so that you can hear firsthand and for yourself how this microphone performs. So without further ado, let's get into the review of Movo's UM700 condenser USB microphone. Alright, so let's start off by going over the build quality for this USB microphone. And my first impressions, I can tell you right off the bat, as soon as I pulled this microphone from its box, I knew that it was well built because it had quite a bit of weight to it. And the reason why this USB microphone has that weight to it is because the entire structure is made out of metal. The base, the body of the USB microphone, going all the way to the cage that houses the various sound capsules. So if I had to give this a grade in terms of build quality, I would definitely give it a solid A because this is, quite frankly, a solid microphone. In terms of the design, I like the way how the microphone looks. The version that I have here is in black. However, I believe that there is also a white version available. So if aesthetically the white version is more compatible with your equipment, then you also have that option of playing around with the different colors. So I like that they give you a little bit of variety in terms of how the microphone looks. In terms of the design here, the microphone, as you can see, is relatively tall due to the base that it comes with. And this is a nice feature to have because when you position this USB microphone on your desk, it positions the capsules a little bit closer to your mouth level. So this kind of prevents you from having to bend over in order to speak into the microphone. So this is a very nice and welcome design that Movo has included within this bundle. Now, another minor thing that I noticed is that at the bottom there is a felt padding. This is going to help to prevent any scratching of your table surface. And in addition to that, I think it also serves as a vibration dampening device as well. So overall, I'm liking the build quality as well as the design of this USB microphone. Alright, so in terms of features and accessories, this microphone bundle certainly has a lot to offer. So let's start off with the accessories first. One of the things that you will notice is that there is a foam filter included in this microphone bundle, and this is a very useful tool because it allows you to have better control over the sound quality in terms of plosives. So if you're using this microphone and you're speaking relatively close to the microphone, the rush of air from your mouth can sometimes cause your audio to peak. But with this foam filter, it kind of dampens that rush of air and reducing the likelihood of the audio peaking. In addition to that, if you're using the microphone outdoors for whatever reason, this will also help to dampen some of that wind sound as well. So definitely a very nice and useful accessory that Movo has included inside of this microphone bundle. As mentioned before, this is a USB microphone, and as such, it should come with a USB cable. So as seen here, this is a USB Type A to micro USB cable, and I think this is probably one of the longest USB cables that I have seen included with a USB microphone. So in length, this cable can extend, I think it's 9 to 10 feet in length. I'm literally able to take one end, place it on the floor, and then extend it to the ceiling. So this is just to give you an idea of how long this cable actually is. So I think that this is a very nice feature. So if you need to be farther away from your computer to record audio for whatever reason, you'll definitely have no issues with doing that with this USB cable. So definitely a nice feature that Movo has included. Coming to the microphone itself, you will see that there are quite a few buttons and knobs on the microphone. So I'll go over each of them and their functions one by one. First, you will see here that there is a headphone volume knob here. This is because at the base of the USB microphone, there is a 3.5mm jack, which is where you can connect a set of headphones. So you just connect that at the base there. And in doing that, it will allow you to be able to monitor the microphone audio. So as you are recording, you can hear that audio in your headphones. And in my test, there was no latency or delay in me hearing the sound. So definitely a very nice feature, especially if you're doing any type of music production or vocal recording. In addition to that, this also serves as a means for listening to the playback on your computer. So if your headphones are connected to this 3.5mm jack here, it will allow you to hear the music that's playing on your computer, or if you're gaming, and you can control that volume once again using this knob. So definitely a very nice and welcomed feature. Just above this knob, you will see that there is a mute button, and it activates the audio and it disactivates the audio, but it makes it very convenient so you don't have to go into your computer to make those adjustments. However, it is to be noted that when I was using this mute button, ironically, it's actually noisy. So I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it's kind of clicky. But maybe this is because the microphone is still pretty new, and over time, it'll break in a little more and become less audible. But it's just a little side note to be mindful of. Moving over to the back of the USB microphone, you will see that there are two more knobs here. The top knob is the gain, so it basically controls how sensitive or how loud the microphone is. So if you're speaking into the microphone and you're finding that the volume levels isn't high enough, or maybe it's too low, then you can easily and conveniently adjust it using this knob here on top. So another thing I noticed is that there was a little bit of play in the top gain knob here. I don't think it's anything that's serious, but it is something to be mindful of. So still feels sturdy enough, but it is something to take note of. And just below this gain knob, you will see that there is a switch here, and this switch controls the pickup pattern for the USB microphone. So this is something that makes the microphone, I guess, special. So you can change the characteristic of how the microphone picks up sound. So in most cases, when you're working with a cardioid microphone, it will pick up sound only from one side. So this is the cardioid pattern, which you can select here. Okay, and what this does is it picks up sound from the front and rejects the sound from behind or on the side of the USB microphone. But in some cases, you might want to change that characteristic. So let's just say in this case, you can select another pickup pattern. You can select the stereo, which pretty much turns on two capsules, and it gives you an effect of the individual moving from left to right. So if you're speaking towards the left side of the microphone, the person who's listening is going to hear it more dominantly in the left-hand side. If you're speaking more to the right, the person who's listening will hear it more dominantly in the right ear. So it gives you like a very nice effect. And I think this is probably going to be useful for things like ASMR or for recordings of that nature. The third pickup pattern is the 360 mode, which basically allows you to record on a 360-degree angle. So it doesn't matter if you're in front, behind, left or right, it's going to pick up that sound. This is probably useful maybe if you're doing like an interview of some sort. Simply place the microphone in the middle and it's going to pick up sound from all directions. Or maybe if you're in a band and you have people playing different instruments, then this would also pick up that sound in that fashion as well. So very nice that they have included that pickup pattern. And last but not least, there is the bidirectional, which I think is more tailored towards interviews specifically. So it will turn on the capsules on both sides. So it will pick up sound on the front as well as the back, but reject the sound that is on the side. So as you can see, depending on the scenario that you are recording in, this gives you a lot of options to pick in terms of picking up that sound. Now, I'm going to demonstrate that in the sound test coming up. So I will test all of the pickup patterns, and what I will do is as well, I will record using this USB microphone with it being placed on the desk. And in addition to that, I can also place this USB microphone on a scissor arm stand because there is a opening that is on the base here. So if you have a scissor arm stand, you have the ability to mount this USB microphone onto it and then maybe use something like a pop filter as what I have here. So I plan on doing a sound test and to demonstrate and to show you how this microphone performs underneath those various case scenarios. So without further ado, let's get into this sound test using the Movo UM700. Alright, so I finally have the Movo UM700 connected to my desktop computer. The setup was very flawless. As soon as I connected it via USB, my computer immediately recognized it and the setup was complete there. It is to be noted that this microphone is compatible with both Windows and Mac operating systems, so regardless of the system that you're using, there shouldn't be any issues for the setup. Now, very quickly, I just want to say, if you're enjoying this content thus far, please don't forget to hit the like button. And if you like the overall channel, please subscribe, as this does help us to become a little bit more discovered. And I just want to send out a big thank you to all of you who have been supporting this channel since day one. So I appreciate that, and I hope you continue to watch. Now, let's get into the sound test. As mentioned before, I will be doing a two-part test. So one of the tests is going to be with the Movo UM700 and only the accessories that comes inside the box. And then I will show you how the microphone performs while using a scissor arm stand such as this, and also while also using the pop filter here. So in case you do want to purchase any additional accessories to be used with this USB microphone, the option is always there. So let's open up Audacity so that we can do the recording and so that you can hear for yourself how this USB microphone performs with the various polar patterns as well as under different type of circumstances. So let's get to that right now. Alright, so I finally have Audacity open, and currently, as you are hearing me, it is through the Movo UM700. I just transitioned from my lavalier over to the Movo. So as you can see here, the microphone is picking up audio, and if I can just bring your attention for a few seconds over to the sound meter that's here, you'll notice that in terms of the background noise, it's not that much. So what I mean by this, if I were to stay quiet for a few seconds, you'll notice that the sound meter doesn't really pick up as much noise. Okay, so that background noise that you can visually notice here is probably coming from the fan that is on my PC. So considering that the gain on the USB microphone is only set to 45%, I think that it performs relatively well in terms of isolating the background noise. It is to be noted that right now I have the cardioid pattern selected, which means that it's going to be focusing on the sound that is targeted in front of the USB microphone, and it's going to try to reject the sound that is on the side or behind the microphone. So let's go ahead to do this test. So I'm going to keep the gain at 45%. I'm going to start off using the cardioid polar pattern, and I'm going to maintain a distance of approximately 6 inches away from the USB microphone. Okay. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a sound test using the Movo UM700 USB condenser microphone. Currently, I have the gain set to approximately 45%, and I am positioned approximately 6 inches away from the USB microphone, and we are currently using the cardioid pickup pattern, and this is how the USB microphone would perform while only using the accessories that comes with the Movo UM700. As mentioned before, I am using a foam filter in order to reduce some of the plosives that might interfere with the sound of the USB microphone. Now I'm going to simply pretend to type on my computer on my keyboard here, just to give you a better idea of how this might sound. Maybe you're a gamer and you're going to be clicking a lot on your keyboard, so this might be some information that you might want to pick up. All right, so now let's move on to the next polar pattern. Let's move on to the 360-degree polar pattern using the Movo UM700. Okay, so right now I have the 360-degree polar pattern selected on the microphone, and one of the things that you will notice is that it picks up a little bit more background sound because it's a little more sensitive, because all of the capsules within the USB microphone is operating. So if I were to just stay quiet for 1 second, you'll notice that the sound meter picks up a little bit more background noise. Okay, so it's a little bit more sensitive, but this is done by design, right? So if you have multiple individuals in the room that's maybe recording for music, or maybe you're doing an interview, then it's only natural that it's going to be picking up more sound. So ideally, in this type of situation, you're going to have a sound treated room, so you're not going to have as much background noise. In addition to that, this might even be useful if you're doing things like ASMR. So when you really want to pick up sounds in the environment, and you want to do that in a very sensitive fashion. So once again, this sort of shows you how versatile this USB microphone can be. So let's go ahead to do a similar recording as how we did before. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a sound test using the Movo UM700. Currently, I have the 360-degree polar pattern selected, and I am positioned approximately 6 inches away from the USB microphone. And just as before, the gain on the microphone is still set to 45%. And as you can tell, if I were to rotate the USB microphone here, you will notice that it still picks up sound on a 360-degree angle. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so now let's move on to the next test, the bidirectional pickup polar pattern. All right, so I currently have the bidirectional pickup pattern selected on the microphone. And as the name suggests, bi means two, so it is going to be picking up sound from in front of the USB microphone as well as behind it. And this is going to be useful in a situation where there are two individuals maybe having an interview, or if there's two individuals maybe doing a recording for a duet. This is going to be ideal for that. Now, the whole point of this is that it picks up sound from the two sides, in front and behind, and rejects the sound from the sides. So if I were to spin this USB microphone to its side, you'll notice that it picks up less sound until it gets behind the microphone, and then it starts to pick up sound yet again. So in terms of the background noise, I'm sure that we are going to notice through the sound meter here that it's not as sensitive as the 360-degree pickup pattern. All right, so it is picking up some background noise, but nothing that is major. So let's go ahead to do the same sound test. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a sound test using the bidirectional pickup pattern on the Movo UM700. Currently, I am positioned approximately 6 inches away from the microphone, and I still have the gain set to approximately 45%, and I am still using a foam filter that came included within this microphone bundle. So this is how the bidirectional pickup pattern sounds on this USB microphone. So now let's move on to the last pattern, the stereo pickup pattern. All right, so as you are hearing me right now, it is through the stereo pickup pattern on the Movo UM700. And basically the way how this pattern works, there are two capsules that are simultaneously working, the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And this pattern sort of gives the listener the feeling of movement. So what I mean by this, if I were to lean over to the left-hand side of the microphone, you can hear the sound dominance shifting from the middle going over to the left. And likewise, if I were to move over to the right-hand side, you can slowly hear the sound dominance shifting from the center to the right. And depending on whether you're using, let's say, speakers or headphones, you are going to hear that shift. So I think that this is going to be useful in a situation where you want to capture, let's just say, something moving. So let's just say a car driving from left to right. The listener will be able to hear that movement through the two capsules. So it's a very nice effect. And I think it's kind of like one of those bonus pickup patterns that you would use for this microphone. So with regards to recording in stereo, you can see here that there are 2 tracks here that are active as opposed to the mono tracks here that we used previously. So if you want to record in stereo, just make sure that your track is also in stereo. In terms of the background noise, as you can see here, I feel as though this microphone doesn't pick up as much background noise. However, it is present at a gain of 45%. Okay, so there's some background noise, but I think it's less sensitive than the 360-degree pickup pattern. So let's go ahead to do the same sound test using the stereo pickup pattern. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a sound test using the stereo pickup pattern on the Movo UM700 USB microphone. Currently, I am positioned approximately 6 inches away from the microphone, and I have the gain currently set to 45%. And as before, I am using the foam filter that came included inside of this USB microphone bundle. All right, so there you have it. This is not the last test, so if you want to stick around, I'm going to mount the USB microphone onto the scissor arm stand here very quickly and show you how the microphone sounds while also using a pop filter. But for this test, I am only going to use the cardioid pickup pattern. All right, so as you are hearing me right now, it is through the Movo UM700. And the main difference between this test and the previous test is that I am now mounted onto the scissor arm stand that I have here. And instead of using the foam filter, I'm using a pop filter. Now, one of the things that you're probably going to notice is that the sound is a little bit louder. This is because I'm able to place the microphone even closer to my mouth. And in doing so, it's going to allow me to be able to lower the gain from the 45% that we were using. So right now I have the gain at around 35%. And you'll notice here, if I were to stay quiet for 1 second, that there is a lot less background noise being picked up. See that? So this also comes to the point of the importance of microphone placement. So because it's closer, I can lower the gain, and in lowering the gain, it is picking up less of the environmental noise and focusing more on my vocals. So I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you would like to support this channel and you are considering getting, let's say, the microphone or any one of these accessories, consider using the links down below, as Amazon will issue the channel a small but helpful commission for using those links. So this is one way that you can support the channel monetarily. So with that being said, let's go ahead to do this sound test under these types of conditions. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a sound test using the Movo UM700. Currently, the microphone is mounted on the scissor arm stand, and we are using a pop filter. I am positioned approximately 2 to 3 inches away from the microphone, and the gain is now set to approximately 35%. All right, so this concludes this video. So I want to say thank you for watching. If this was a useful video for you, then I would ask you to hit the like button, as this does help the channel to become more discovered and to grow as well. If you like the overall content of the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button as well, as this too does help us to grow. I hope you found this beneficial, and as per the usual, if you do have any other questions, perhaps there's something that I didn't cover in this video, I would ask you to leave your comments down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you for your support, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you at the next one. So take care for now.